The mad customer comes back. Can let you know what happened there. We're going to give you a scope of what I'm seeing at the shop today as well. There's so much to cover, my friends. Please tap the like button for me. Let's get this information out. Yes, we're still on the Stop the Milk campaign. We will talk about the Pimbex giveaway briefly. We got a lot to cover. I'm just going to get right into it. Not going to waste any more of your time today. The guy that came in yesterday, that was fed up with silver and gold, he comes back today. And we hadn't processed, we pre-processed the order already. Okay? Meaning it was pre-loaded in the computer, ready to be just checked off, inventory dump into the system. Okay? That was not done yet. We still had the box in the safe. And I told the owner, I said, let's just wait on this particular one. And let the team know. So we all agreed. Let's just wait on this one. Because we all know this guy. We don't know him well. All right. He's a good customer. And I says, I got a hunch feeling that he's going to come back. And sure enough, he comes back. So I brought him back to the office. And I said, what's up, man? He says, I think I made a mistake yesterday. I said, oh, really? I said. So I was toying with him a little bit. And I didn't let on that we didn't process the order yet. Okay, I was trying to give him a little bit of a hard time, but in a nice way. Let me just say that. I was not giving him a hard time, but I was beating around the bush with him a little bit. And so I'm listening to him go on. And I said, look, so typically we don't do this type of thing in the shop. I said, once you sell it to us, it becomes ours. If you want it back, we do make some money off of you on that. I says, but in this scenario, I says, I'm willing to help you out. I says, I'm willing to give you, I says, I'm assuming you have not cashed a check yet. He says, no, I got the check in my, right here. I says, well, I've not processed the order yet. And I says, I'm willing to take the check back. I said, all your stuff is still in the box. I said, we can verify everything. I said, we got the list right with your box. And technically, it was not his, right? Okay, it was the shop's. Technically speaking. And he gave us the check back. We went through the list. He checked everything off. Yep, that's what I had. You know, he matched up with his receipt. You got the copy of the receipt from yesterday? He said, yep, I do. I said, let's just make it match and call it good. After that, he whips out $500 bills. 5 $100 bills. He said, I want to give you guys this as a tip. Buy pizza, buy whatever. I said, no. I said, we're not doing that. I said, I'd rather you take that money. And I said, just take that money if you're able. I said, I'm assuming you're able to spend it right now, I said. Because you're trying to give it to us at the shop. I said, I don't want to put your $500. I said, I know how hard you work. I said, why don't you put that money towards silver or gold? And he thought about it. He says, no, he says, you were doing me a huge favor. I messed up. He said a little bit more than that, but I'm trying to keep the language clean on the channel. And I said, yeah, you did mess up. I said, I'll quote you there. I said, you know how hard I try to push you not to do this. I said, it's because of a law. I said, the law is not going to change anything, really. And I'm talking about the Florida law. And he says, I overreacted. I says, I understand that you overreacted. I says, it's fine. So he got his stuff back. He's happy. Okay? Didn't expect him to come back around the counter and start looking around. And he says, can I just get a tube of silver Eagles then? Yeah, sure. So we made a sale for helping the customer out. And I went with my gut feeling. And normally my gut feeling sometimes is not so right on the ball. Alright? Sometimes it's not so right on the ball where my gut feeling is on this at all. But I just had a gut feeling because I kind of knew this guy, not real personally, like I said, but he comes in quite often. A good customer. And sometimes you bend the rules. I know. Sometimes you bend the rules for the better customers, I guess. And it's not like he came in hot-headed at us about the law. I mean, he was very cool and collected about that. He was upset, okay? He wasn't upset at us at all. And we get it at the shop. He made a bad decision. And talked to the owner, talked to the other staff, and we were all on the same page. Give this guy 24 hours or so to come back in and see if he's not going to be able, see if he don't want to come back and get his stuff, because we know how hard he worked. Okay, we know. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes you got to do the right thing and go with your gut feeling. And he was very happy. He got his stuff back, folks. That's the bottom line. Look, when you see a law pass, something like this, don't overreact to it. Okay? Because the point being is, there's nothing in this Florida bill or the upcoming Texas bill that I've seen that they're forcing you to use it. They're going to make you use it. It's an option to use it. Okay? It's an option. And that's if the business is willing to accept the silver and gold as payment. It's not really a contract. If Walmart, let's say, use Walmart again. I'm not trying to hit on Walmart here, but since Walmart's known nationally in the States here, in parts of Canada and parts of the other countries they're in, Walmart's really well known. So I'm just using them as an example. If Walmart says they're going to accept silver and gold, you don't have to pay in silver and gold. Okay? It's just an option. Just another form of payment. No, you don't have to pay your property taxes with it if you choose not to. But if you get in a pinch and you lose your job or something happens and you don't have time to go to the coin shop, or the coin shop's too far away to come and trade it in to get cash or a check or just whatever, it's an option. That's all it is. And I understand this bill is so confusing to a lot of people. Did a video on it this morning. Not going to go into too much about the Florida bill because I already did a big video this morning on it. Of, yes, 90% silver is in that bill. That would be gold. I'm assuming, since it's all American minted stuff, that would include the 40% silver to 35% war nickels. I mean, it's legal tender. So, at that portion of the bill, you assume that's all part of the bill, too. It does not say 90% silver, but the start of the bill says 999 fine silver, 995 gold. Then it breaks it down in part of the other bills, and it is the language on both sides of it. It's very confusing. I understand it. Before we move on, what I want to talk about next, we got the Pimbex giveaway coming up. Okay? We got the Pimbex giveaway coming up. They're on board. Michael and Brian are on board with Stop the Milk campaign. Okay? They're going to be running specials for 90% silver all month June long. I don't know the specials yet. Okay? I don't know yet. But they say they're going to have some good deals on 90% silver coming up in June. So stay tuned for that. Okay? I am donating. Oh, I'm giving away, I should say. $3.35 worth of 90% silver. You'll be receiving from me 2 1964 Kenley half dollars, 2 Walking half dollars, 2 Franklin half dollars, 1 silver dime, which is a Baba dime, 1910, and a 1927 Standing Liberty silver quarter. So there's $3.35 in face right there. Pimbex has jumped on with us with this giveaway, and they're going to be sending me to give away $10 in face of Washington silver quarters. So that'll be a total of $13.35 in face value of 90% silver to one lucky winner. I will be creating a video 10 days or so before July 4th. That will give you plenty of time to enter the giveaway. I'm getting the information out now so you know what to look for coming up for month of June. That's why I'm trying to get this information out there now. So if you're not yet subscribed, be a good time to subscribe, so you have to, because that'll be one of the requirements to be entered in the giveaway, and the other one will be you must live in the United States to win the giveaway. Anywhere in the United States. I will ship to Alaska. I'll ship to Hawaii. I pay that cost out of my own pocket. Okay? It's not going to be no cost to you. We've done 2 giveaways. They went off without a hitch. We're going to do it again. Thank you, channel sponsor Pimbex, for sponsoring this channel, Coin Shop Chris. Thank you to the viewer out there, because it's not possible without you. Check Pimbex out. Let them know that I sent you. The more of you folks let Michael and Brian know that I sent you, the bigger giveaways is going to happen. I don't make a commission. I make a flat rate. And that's the truth. Michael and Brian are willing to be there to help you out. And Michael and Brian do not melt down any 90% silver as well. Okay? Just want to make that very transparent out there. Want to talk about the meltdown. So you guys know that we just bought some 90% silver from a South Carolina coin shop. Not going to mention their name. They were on the verge to melt it down. We saved it. Melting down 90% silver is legal. Unfortunately, it is. I've not called out one shop's name, condemned one shop for doing it. I just don't like them doing it. Okay, that's all. You know, I've not called out one shop. I've not put any pressure on any other shop not to do it. So let that be crystal clear on my record. Okay, let that be crystal clear. That I have not shout out one coin shop's name on this channel that they're melting it down. And yeah, there are coin shops that I know of are melting it down. And it's a shame. It should be against the law. We have to save it. We got to keep the Stop the Melt campaign going right here on this channel. And how we get the word out, I need you folks to share it. I need you folks to share it out. Share it out there. Put it on Facebook. Put it on X. Put it on wherever other platform you need to put it on to get this information out. Stop the Melt campaign. We're running this from now into July 4th. That is what we're going to do on this channel, and I know a lot of you are passionate about 90% silver as well. Why are we melting down history anyways? That I just don't understand it. I just don't understand that whatsoever. And I'm not melting mine down. We don't melt it down at the shop. The only time we do melt it down, and I'm going to be truly honest with you, when they are really unrecognizable or close to being unrecognizable. Before we even do that, we put them in the call box. When we start seeing the same coin in there, 3-4 weeks, it has to go. It just has to go. It's business sense that way. There's no sense of keeping it on hand when it can be sent off to the melter. Some people like the calls, some people don't like the calls. You know, coins like this. This is, I call that a call. All right? Yes, it's still recognizable. But it's pretty worn down. I saved this myself from the melt bucket. I'm like, well, it's not that bad to my own eyes. All right? It's not that bad. To me, it's still recognizable. But the owner of the shop didn't think so. So I said, let me get it for let me get it for spot then. He gave it to me for spot. I got people coming in, my friends, to the shop. People are trying to make trades now for silver bars, silver rounds, for silver eagles. We're just letting people know, okay, we're willing to do it. But to us, it's too early to make any moves right now with the law. And our question is to the customer, are you planning to take this to any retail store out there come July 1st of 2026 and use it in a trade? And they say no. Well, why are you making a trade then? If you're not going to even do that, and there's no point. And a lot of the people just stop and think about it. I said, just stop and think about it. What I'm saying, we don't mind doing the trade if that's what you really want to do. But if you're not going to be out there putting silver into the hands of retailers, why are you even making the trade now then? And people stop and say, never mind, we're not going to make the trade. You made a good point. Look, don't overreact to any state. That if your state passes silver and gold legal tender laws, you live here in Florida, you live in Texas, I don't know if they passed it or not yet. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. Or email me the bill number. I'm not kept up with that. Don't make any, it's not financial advice, just don't make any rash situations. Learn from this guy who we helped saved his silver himself. Learn from that. Look, don't make rash decisions. Don't make rash decisions when silver and gold go up so high, down so low, and trying to convert it back into fiat all at once. Look, this is not financial advice, okay? If you don't need to sell for anything, don't sell your silver and gold. It's a long-term hold. Yeah, we saw gold going up to $3,500. We had some sales that people bringing it, selling it back. I understand the cash out for fiat profits, but how much are you really gained with inflation, everything else like this? And what makes me really in my brain is people will come in to sell, and they literally tell me they're taking this fiat and just putting it in the bank. Okay, you got no plans for it. Why are you selling for? What are you selling for then? I understand emergencies happen. You know, that's what it's there for. That's what your silver and gold is there for emergencies. For when stuff hits the fan. Or when the dollar collapses. Okay? I mean, that's what it's there for. Think about it. It's your money. You can do what with yourself with your fiat dollars, your silver and gold, your platinum, whatnot. It's your inventory in your own hands. But I'm just trying to help people out to think and not make a bad decision, because technically with this customer we had today, we didn't have to do what we did. That's the honest God truth. We didn't have to do that. We took exception to this guy, and it was a unanimous saying, yes, let's do it for this customer. Okay, normally we don't do this. Like I said, you know, the owner would say, fine, do it. You know, fine, do it. You know, I mean, that is, you know, that's how passionate we are. You know, and if he was a jerk to us yesterday, we wouldn't have done it. Okay, we wouldn't have done it. He was not, like I said, he wasn't mad at us. Don't go into your coin shops anywhere in the country and get mad at them because they don't make the laws. Don't get mad at them because you might get a lowball offer. It's an offer. All right? Every coin shop runs differently. I understand that. Every coin shop runs differently. And some will pay out more, some will pay out less. Some use bullion dealers, some don't. Some just rely on customers bringing it in to them and they resell it. Some coin shops will work with other coin shops and trades. Some coin shops, yes, we've sent stuff to the melter too. Toned up bars, whatnot. But if they're in good shape, we're not selling them off at this time. We can use the bullion dealer. If we get too much items, we can use the bullion dealer to have him buy it from us. That's all I'm saying. We got options. Yes, we got a lot of options in the shop that I work for. Some coin shops don't have a lot of options. And I do believe most of the coin shops out there, I've said this before, you can go back and watch my videos from almost day one. I don't believe there's a bad coin shop out there. Maybe they're not so fair, okay? Maybe they're not so fair with their offering. But I think most coin shops, and I'll say most, will do the right thing. They will do the right thing for the customer. Now, like I said, every coin shop runs differently. There are no two coin shops that actually, they're close. They're close how we run. They're close, but not 100% close. All right, it is a business. There is a small profit margin in this for the shops. We rely on quick flips. You know, we buy, we want to sell, but we do have inventory. You know, we're still thinking ahead. We're taking our chances, yes. All right, our owner's taking the chances of what he just took out of his own pocket to put into the business. He says, well, it is what it is. I'd rather have the silver and gold than the fiat dollars anyways. It's a long-term hold. You folks have any questions for me about silver, gold, or platinum? Reach out to me in my email. It's always in the description of every single video. I gotta get off here, upload this, run back to the shop for the rest of the day. Probably see you folks tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Coin Shop Chris is out. Please help me with the like, share, and subscribe. See you later.